I don't like that it sets it automatically to private. That's a little bit weird. How do I fix that? Details, private, visibility, public. Oh, maybe that's why fucking no one has seen these. Okay. Okay. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, dude? No, dude, what the fuck? Oh, because it's already... Okay. Stand by. God damn it. You fucking pricks. Start. Hi, everybody. Let's see how things are working here now. Let's see what happens. Sure wish you could still smoke cigarettes inside, but Pero, that's illegal. Okay. So, everybody. Look, guys. Candace Owens is super high. And I get it. You know, it's rough being a political commentator and then being embroiled in this tragedy, but, you know, at a certain point, your remarks are doing a disservice, I think. And what happened is we're in this conspiracy culture now where, like, everything is a reptilian overlords and Pizzagate, and so people are, like, all fucked up and they think everything is a conspiracy. Alright, and, you know, a political figure just can't even get assassinated anymore without everyone thinking that it was the CIA. Ridiculous. I've said this a few times, guys. If the CIA does an assassination, they generally don't do it with, you know, they generally don't have their deep state shooter jump off of the roof. So that's counterintuitive, because what will end up happening is your deep state shooter will break his ankle, and there goes your conspiracy. Now, and look, there are Ocho personas, Ocho personas mucho comentario, that's not helping, and Joe Rogan is an example of that. See, Joe Rogan is, what we saw, I did a stream like a week ago or something, like a week and a half ago, whatever it is. It's week and a day, I think. Where clearly Joe Rogan didn't vet or fact check anything he was saying, and his buddy, this wannabe lumberjack with this ridiculous red beard, you know, came on and made a fool of himself, not understanding how firearms work and how anything works, and, you know, what a lumberjack he is. I really don't think, guys, that these people believe the shit that they're saying on the internet and on television. I think that they are trying to get attention. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to get likes. They're trying to get revenue. And I can't speak for, you know, the fallen, but I would be really surprised if the victim of this crime would appreciate very much the people that he once called his friends that are now lying on the internet about him and how he died. And what really ends up happening there is then you're shifting accountability away from the people who did the crime. And so it's very much like the Zodiac Killer hoax theory, where you have an offender and people are saying that he didn't exist, or that he was a deep state operative and not the real shooter or whatever. And what happens is you're not allowing people to be held responsible for their... I mean, what does Candace Owens want? She wants Captorado Robinson to, like, walk free? I don't understand. What is her intention here? Like, what's the goal? You know, I guess if Candace Owens had her way, Captorado Robinson would be released tomorrow, which is disgusting. So, it's a trip that this is going on. Okay, let's try to get a little bit better quality going here. I don't think that it's going to fly. I don't think the courts are going to fall for it. I don't think that the juries are going to fall for it. I don't think that it's going to matter in the long run. I think what's going to happen is that Captorado Robinson is going to be convicted for this murder. And all of that nonsensical commentary that's coming out about these people is going to be forgotten and fall to the wayside where it belongs. It's ridiculous to say that. Obviously, again, can't speak for the victims, but I think he would be a little bit concerned if he knew. So, now, it's possible I'm wrong and it was the deep state. But does the deep state jump off the second-story roof? Is that how the deep state operates, Candace? Is that what they do? They jump off the roof, break their ankle. Just absurd, you know. In the long run, see what it is it's click revenue. It's clickbait. It's people just trying to get views and trying to get ad revenues, trying to get money. And profiting off of this murder is horrible. You want to say, oh, Candace, I was his best friend. You're trying to make money on his death. There's a bunch of news articles about, out and about right now about Captain Robinson and about Candace Owens, and these people haven't provided there's no evidence of anything here. In fact, what they're basically saying is that Kirk had basically pissed off Israel, and that's why he was killed. And they're pointing to these controversies and these previous sort of shady circumstances, and they're trying to say that that's evidence of some kind of a conspiracy to kill him, and then blame it on Captain Robinson, who jumped off of a roof at UVU for some reason. Why did if Captain Robinson isn't the shooter, why did he jump off the roof? It's ridiculous. Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, for sure. Like, have I made you a mod yet, Dylan? Let me make sure that I've done that. Oh, yeah, I haven't. Okay, so you're now a standard moderator on my channel, just in case we've forgotten. To do that, I have a lot of standard moderators, but it's only the select important viewers that... Now you are. What's up, dog? So, here's the thing. When you're a geopolitical figure, like Charlie Kirk was, and you're engaged with these high-profile politicians and you're mixed up in these things, you're gonna naturally have opinions about Israel. You're gonna say things that are relevant to the geopolitical situation that's unfolding in front of us. And so then, in the on the off chance that a murder happens and you get killed or whatever happens, then people are going to point to all that stuff as if there's some kind of a correlation, but there's no actual correlation. What it is that Charlie Kirk just had opinions on Israel. Everybody does, almost, right? This is a huge issue. If you're a media figure, if you're a political commentator in this day and age, you almost certainly have some kind of involvement in the discussion and the discourse regarding Israel and its actions. And I don't take any particular side. I think bombing kids is horrible, and both sides are doing it. The Palestinians are doing it, and the Israelis are doing it, and so both of them are dirtbags. But it's like if I were walking through the hood and someone did a drive-by shooting on me, and then you went and dug up all my streams, and you're like, "Whoa, but he said this about Israel and Palestine." It's like, doesn't mean causation. Doesn't mean that there's a direct cause and effect here. It just means that a guy had thoughts on a super hot issue that's on every news agency in the world right now. I mean, go to Google, go to news.google.com and look up Israel, and you're going to get hundreds of articles a day, I'm sure. So, it would be stranger if Kirk didn't have opinions on this. And so when he gets shot, it doesn't mean that it's because of what he said about his, and these people, I think a lot of it, these people are like schizophrenic, man. They're in meth psychosis or something. It's tripping me out, man. We saw that with Thomas Henry Horn. We saw that with, I don't know, any of these things that, and the reality is, guys, if Captain Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk, then why did he jump off of the roof? He just wanted to. He just happened to be there on the roof, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to jump off the roof now." That doesn't make sense. if the CIA wants you dead, dude, they poison you. They give you cancer. They give you a heart attack. They don't shoot you from 200 yards and then jump off the roof. That's retarded. Okay, so where were we on Owens? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the deep state. Why not? Sure, it could be the deep state, I guess. I just highly, highly doubt that if it's the deep state, that they would have jumped off that roof. That's really stupid. Because what's going to happen is you're going to break your ankle. The local law enforcement agencies, who are almost certainly not in on your CIA deep state conspiracy theory, are going to go through the phone of the shooter. And we all know that the FBI can get past, iPhone encryptions. They did this in the, what was that case? It was like back in 2009, where these bad guys had iPhones. I don't remember what the case was, but I remember this being a huge issue, and the FBI was able to actually bypass their AES encryption. I think we still don't know how they did it, but they did do it. They have all of these softwares and all of these systems hardware rooted and backdoored. So you can encrypt all you want, and yes, no one can snoop on your traffic, but if the system is backdoored from the source, then they will be able to crack or break that encryption. For example, let's say I have a keylogger on every phone in America. One of those phones, configures a PGP key, or configures a PGP encryption that has a specific key. Well, if your phone has a keylogger on it, then they know what your encryption key is because they know every keystroke that you make, and so they just log in. And so they go through his phone. The guy jumps off the roof, right? Breaks his ankle, can't walk. He's stuck in one spot. Now, that didn't happen in this case. He did, sprain it or whatever happened, but he had no way of knowing that he wouldn't break his ankle. It's quite a high drop. My uncle in I believe 2000 or 2001 fell 12 feet from a ladder, and it snapped his leg in half, compound fracture, and put the bone through the skin. And that's only 12 feet. We saw Captain Otto Robinson jump from this, high building. He's very lucky he didn't snap his fucking leg in half, man. I think that because he was so young and agile, that might have played a serious role here. But he had no way of knowing he wasn't going to snap his leg in half. And, UVU campus security shows up, and they're like, oh, we have the shooter right here. His leg broke in half. He can't walk. And so they just go through his phone, and now they find evidence of the deep state conspiracy that it's absurd, man, and it's just not the way that the deep state would do this. Now, I personally don't think Lee Harvey Oswald fired the fatal shot on John F. Kennedy, but let's pretend for a moment that he didn't, and let's just hypothetically agree with that concept that this is a conspiracy. Now, that probably happened that way because it was a message to future presidents. They don't need to send those kinds of messages to a guy like Charlie Kirk because they can just give him a heart attack. In fact, when you martyr someone like that... Dude, Charlie Kirk got martyred, guys. Charlie Kirk's death sets a huge political message. You're seeing it with Turning Point USA. You're seeing this massive movement of people that are now rallied for their cause unlike ever before. So what was the deep state's plan? To validate him? Was it to inspire others to carry his movement to untold levels and heights in the name of his martyrdom? What was the deep state trying to accomplish? Oh, but he was talking bad about Israel. Everyone talks bad about Israel. They're fucking terrorists, and so are the Palestinians. Right? So, of course, he's going to have thoughts on it. Oh, but he's involved in weapons deals. Whatever, dude. That doesn't make sense. Everything, guys, people saw The Matrix too many times, and they think everything is this elaborate CIA deep state conspiracy. It's just not. It just isn't that way. It's just, you can't. It's almost like a mass psychosis. It's almost like this contagious global amphetamine schizophrenia that's taking off. And because of these websites, because of these places like 4chan, and because of these conspiratorial... and they're not always wrong. I'm one of them. I don't think that 9/11 was done by 4 guys with box cutters. It's ridiculous. Obviously not, right? But that at the same time, that doesn't have any bearing on the Kirk situation. These are separate cases. So everybody likes to say, well, they've done conspiracy. Her buddying up with Kanye destroyed. Yeah, Kanye's a fucking joke, man. You know, it doesn't mean that, like, everything is a conspiracy. Where do you draw the line? Everything that happens now is a deep state conspiracy. You guys are, like, worshiping the deep state. And these people, oh, fuck the deep state, man. It's like, you're giving them more power than God at this point. You think that they orchestrate everything on a global... I mean, it's ridiculous. Did she push Kanye to... Guys, no, I think Kanye just wants attention that badly, man. I think that he's... How... Like they say, no publicity is bad publicity, right? So how better to make waves and get attention? Kanye is the biggest attention whore in the entire fucking world, man. Remember that time that he, like, took over the microphone from Taylor Swift and he was like, I'm gonna let you finish, and he, like, made a big fucking scene, man. And he knew doing that he wasn't going to look good, but he didn't care because he got to look. People were there were headlines, and that's all that mattered to him. You know, I don't think that didn't he retract most of that stuff? Dude, what a joke, man. Like, there's things that I've changed my mind about. I always have a scientific reason, you know. I don't go from flat earth to round earth because public pressure made me apologize on television. It wasn't because of that. It was because of scientific evidence. And so when we see guys like Kanye and they go back on these things that they're saying, it's like, do you really believe that stuff, or are you just trying to get news headlines? So, anyway, the deep state doesn't do things like that, guys. You know, I mean, they just don't. Because all it did, what was their purpose? Oh, they were trying to silence Charlie Kirk. It did the opposite, didn't it? Now we're all talking about him. So what was the deep state's true motivation? Was it to murder Charlie Kirk? Was it to make him look better? Because that's all that they did. And it does make him look better, too. Because, like, look at this guy, Captain Otto. Guys, come on, dude. There's text messages. And they go, oh, the text messages are fake. Okay, well, what happens when the defense subpoenas the phone company? And they're going to, you know. They're going to. That's going to happen. This is a huge case. You think that Captain Otto Robinson's defense attorneys aren't going to subpoena his phone company and verify that those text message logs actually happened? They definitely did, or they wouldn't have been... It's ridiculous. Oh, the text messages are fake. What happens when the defense... Then their case is really fucked. So, Robinson did text those things. He definitely texted those things, because if he didn't, the defense would have already discovered that. Or they will. It's inevitable. And obviously, at this point, stand by, if we're going to have a bitrate drop in a second, I think. Obviously, at this point, this is too high profile of a case to manufacture text messages, man. It just is. It's not reasonable. Those text messages happened. Well, those text messages are damning as fuck. He's caught about as red-handed as you can get. The note was photographed, but I like the cope that every text was rigged, every Discord was rigged, I know, right? Isn't that a joke? Dude, people act like the federal government's prosecutors or Utah's prosecutors are the only people that can serve a subpoena to a company. That's not the case. If those text messages were faked, it will be uncovered. And the deep state's so smart, they were able to pull off this conspiracy, but they forgot to account for that. That's retarded. So, that's stupid. Let's see what we have here. I was looking at some of this stuff. Experts assess the prosecution. Guys, he's literally as guilty as it comes, man. He's dead to rights, dude. It's over for Captain Otto Robinson, man, because he was texting about murder. It's a ridiculous concept. And this happens all the time, dude. People are, oh, they faked it. They don't work like that. Here's how the deep state really works, okay? I'll let you in on a secret here. Let's say the deep state wants to kill Charlie Kirk. what they do is they spread what you could equate to slander and libel about somebody. They rile them up. They rile up the public. They go, this person is a terrorist. This person's a racist. And then eventually some unstable incel like Captain Otto Robinson comes along and shoots him to get famous. That's what he wanted. There's no fucking hatred. He's not protesting hatred because he's the only hater. He's the guy that took a bolt-action rifle to a rally and shot someone. That's a hater. Not Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk has speeches. And, I know that everybody in this soft, sort of PC society of social justice warriors wants to take offense to speech. But speech isn't really violence. Speech can encourage violence, and I don't think that Charlie Kirk encouraged violence. I don't know. I haven't listened to anything he said. I'm looking at this as a murder case, not as a political thing. So I don't really know what Charlie Kirk thought, believed, or promoted. But obviously, what hatred is he pushing? Can you give me the quote? Can anyone give me a quote? Obviously not, because Captain Otto Robinson doesn't care about ideology. He doesn't care about morals and values because he's the kind of person who takes a bolt-action rifle to a rally and shoots someone's dad in public. That's a hater. So, is it the deep state? No, the deep state simply turns public opinion against you, or they make up a scandal. They set you up in some way. And there has to be consent. Owen Benjamin talks about this. The devil needs consent. So how do you set him up? Well, you send a 16 or a 17-year-old girl to groom him until eventually he bites or whatever it is, and then they call him a pedo and he gets canceled from everything. Or they misinterpret his words, take him out of context, and they cancel him from everything. Oh, but they couldn't stop him. Yes, they can. Dude. It's not, this isn't, these people are insane, man. And you hear their best evidence. They go, oh, well, he doesn't look like he could take a shot from 200 yards away. Neither does Carlos Hathcock, and he killed 93 people from fucking a click away. So that's ridiculous. Oh my god. Listen to this shit. Listen to okay. So some of you may notice that this stream is called Candace Owens Smoke Speed. Candace Owens says Charlie Kirk came to me in a dream and told me he was betrayed. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the most insane shit. This lady is fucking completely insane, guys. And I think what it is you start making too much money and getting too much wealth from your political beliefs, and then you buy a lot of crystal meth and then say crazy shit in the news. Because it's a hell of a drug, guys. And some people just can't, they just don't know how to dial it back, dude. So what is she trying to do? Well, she's just trying to make money and get attention. It's just it's like Kanye. He just wants attention and he just wants to make money getting it. Listen to this shit. Listen to this insane, methed out rambling. I've just spent hours working through this timeline, and I am now fully of the belief that this is in fact a federal conspiracy. There is no other explanation, she wrote. No other... dude, oh my god. I missed when she was going after the French PM's wife. This rabbit hole she's on is so stupid. Yeah, dude. She needs help, man. She needs to be... her insanity needs to be treated for her to live a healthy, good life, because she's obviously unhinged. She's insane. And it's rough. But the road that, the guys, I know the road that she's on, right? Thinking everything is this federal conspiracy. It isn't. The government isn't that competent. I've met them, you guys. They're not that competent. And even if they were, that isn't how they would do that. They would poison him. They would shoot him with the CIA's well-known heart attack gun, which fires an ice pellet of pufferfish poison that's untraceable. Sometimes barium acetate, I think, too. They shoot him with an ice pellet. The ice pellet melts, and then the poison is delivered. It's not detected in an autopsy, and usually the entry wound isn't found. That's how they do it. They don't do it with a bolt-action rifle in public and then jump off the roof. That's retarded. But like we can call Candace, we can call her an idiot and be justified, right? But clearly she's unwell. I don't know if it's the trauma of losing a friend like that, because I know what it's like to have best friends and shit get murdered. And if you are prone to insane rambling bullshit like this, like clearly she's insane. She says it's a federal conspiracy, which is retarded. She never blasted Shapiro while on a speed bender for firing her, did she? She's sane enough to fear the lawsuits. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to a lot of these people because look at the crap that they say. I mean, this is not even like, but it's a murder investigation, and you guys know how I love murder investigations and how I get mixed up in them if I can. And this one just really grabbed me because, I started work on my record, The Book Depository, well before this happened. And the whole theme of, like, I have the album cover here somewhere, and it's somewhere in my backpack or something, but I like sniper stories. And so, I saw this one. It was so fresh when it happened. It happened like a half hour before I saw it, and I just dove it. And I was trying to catch the offender with you guys. You guys remember I did a profile of the offender. I talked about who I believed the offender to be. I slightly overestimated his age and gave him a little too much credit. I said he possibly had a non-combat military role. The reason I didn't think it was a combat military role was because he was shot from only 200 yards away, and pretty much anybody can make that shot. And I think that a truly competent sniper, someone who had a chance of getting away with this, would have done this from a lot further away, so as to put more distance between themselves and the crime scene and so forth. 500 yards, 600 yards, and that's an easy shot too, especially for guys. There are military snipers who can shoot you from almost 2,000 meters away. Let's look up what's the longest range shot on record right now, because this changes all the time as weaponry gets more, as we get better weapons, as our weapons technology advances and so forth. We see this record broken all the time. So let's see what the longest range sniper kill is right now. Longest range sniper shot or kill. I mean, are you fucking see? This record gets broken all the time, guys. Check this out. The longest sniper kill was achieved by a Ukrainian soldier from the Privid Sniper Unit. Let's make sure we're still getting bit rates for you. The Privid Sniper Unit on August 14th, 2025, eliminating 2 Russian soldiers with a single shot from 4,000 meters. 4,000 meters. Guys, let's go 4,000 meters to yards, okay? And, right, I know that's an like, this record gets broken. These are the hyper. That is 4,374 yards. 4,374.453 yards. This is the longest sniper kill on record right now. Again, let's do the backward conversion for you. Kirk was shot from 182 meters away. So, literally, like 20 times shorter distance. And people are like, he couldn't have made that shot. It's like the longest kill on record right now is 20 times further. Let's see, did she ever say in the Discord text if he was aiming for the head? No, I don't think so. I think he was just happy to have achieved that very effective shot. It's a very effective shot. that was done there. Yeah, I don't know if he was aiming for the head. I've suspected, and you guys can see my profile. I think that I don't remember what the stream was. Might have been called "Assassination of Charlie Kirk and More" or something like that, where we talked about the shot placement. The shot placement appears to have been chosen because my hypothesis is that the canopy in the tent had blocked Kirk's head, and the crowd blocked his torso, and so it really left that neck shot open and available. And as people know, the brainstem is actually the most effective gunshot wound that you can inflict, really, that or the heart. The aorta, specifically in the heart, but the heart. The brainstem, or either the jugular or carotid vessels on either side of the neck. So definitely a very effective shot. In fact, either way, guys, with a 30-06, your chances are really low, man. Like, I mean, Kirk had almost no chance of surviving that situation. Really, all you could have done was taken precautionary measures. That's about it. But as we see here, this was what, August? So that's 2 months ago. Less than 2 months ago, the longest range sniper shot was achieved, and it was from 4,000 meters. This record gets broken all the time. Since I was little and I was researching these sniper kills and stuff, that record has been broken so many times. In fact, this record shot, this 4,000 meter shot, killed 2 guys with 1 bullet. It's probably a, what's this weapon that was used here? It was a 14.5 millimeter alligator rifle. I don't even know what that looks like. But there's actually a Wikipedia page called Longest Recorded Sniper Kills. How do you even confirm that sniper kill? They used drones to confirm it. They had drones and I think the artificial intelligence even aided the, let's see, date, August 14, 2025, soldier and unnamed member of Ukraine's Privid sniper unit, a 14.5 millimeter alligator rifle. The shot was made with the assistance of artificial intelligence and a drone. 2 Russian soldiers killed with a single bullet after it penetrated a window. And then we have previous record holders. Whoopsie-daisy. How do we do that? Previous record holders is December 2023. A 58-year-old Ukrainian sniper, Vyacheslav Kovalaski, killed a Russian soldier from 3,800 meters using a Ukrainian-made Volodar Obryu rifle. And then the previous was 2017. A Canadian Special Forces operator set a record of 3,540 meters in Iraq. So, guys, when this wannabe lumberjack shows up on Joe Rogan acting like 200 yards is like really hard to do, just remember that the record holder right now shot someone from 20 times further away. 20 times. At that distance, the number of factors and the amount of variables involved in that shot is mind-blowing. As you can see here, we're live from a spinning ball, so apparently you do have to take the Coriolis effect into account at that point, which I guess is why they needed AI. But you have windage, elevation, humidity, all these things matter. You even have the limitations of the weapon system. Now, similar to, let's say you fire a Nerf gun, right? Every time you fire it, it goes a little bit different place, right? It's just a very dynamic situation to fire a firearm or a weapon system. And there's so many variable factors. It blows my mind that they were doing this from 4,000 meters. But what we're seeing is the evolution of weapons technology here. So supposedly, they had a drone watching to confirm that shot from 4,000 meters. I like to clown on people on this channel and make fun of people like Candace Owens for saying crazy shit, but at the same time, we have to actually have some sympathy because clearly she is very affected by this situation and not doing well. And it's not a federal conspiracy. That's retarded, okay? So, and then you have people like, okay, I didn't know about this, but there's a movie called Snake Eyes where, they say the predictive programming was involved. Well, people falsified information to claim that because in the film there's a banner or something shown and it says September 1 and then another digit. Originally, it was believed to have said September 19th, and the Wikipedia page reflected that. Well, right after the Kirk shooting, someone edited that information and put September 10th. And because of the resolution of the film, because of the quality of the shot, you can't tell whether it's a 19 or a 10. So information is just being made up here to push these narratives, guys. There's just lies that are being told. And that's ridiculous. So let's see here. Anything else we have going? So yeah, I actually do feel a little bit bad for Candace Owens. I think we need to be more compassionate and understanding towards insane people like that. Door cam footage showing a woman with the shooter. That's retarded. Suggesting FBI mishandling and a potential ADL influence. Guys, this is insane. Also question the FBI's decision to send Connecticut. What in the fuck is she talking about? What the fuck, man? Guys, she needs to she needs to be treated or something. We need to not initially have evidence to support. Though Candace Owens said she did not initially have any evidence to support her claim, why are you making the claim then? That's insane. So she's dragging Turning Point and the security guards into the Mossad conspiracy and still posting daily. Yeah, and notice how they haven't killed her. Notice? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? That she's saying all this crazy shit and fucking no one shot her? You know, if that's how it works. Because, look, the shit that Candace Owens is saying is way more damaging or slanderous and libelous to the so-called deep state. And there is a deep state, but I don't think that it's arranged this way. I don't think it's like Mission Impossible fucking Get Smart. You know, and she's alive, and she's still allowed to post it because the deep state lets you say crazy shit, guys. They want you to say crazy shit. And it... Man, dude. You know, it's propaganda, I think, at this point. I think what we're seeing, and I hate to sound like one of these boomers or something, I think what we're seeing, this I don't like the word anti-American, but it is this, she'd have been taken out, and they'd blame the French. Yeah, I know, right? No, they wouldn't. They would just say it was like a fucking Fumato Capturado type guy, like Luigi Mangione. He just, oh, she just got taken out. Or has a heart attack. Or a drug overdose. Like, guys, if tomorrow Candace Owens died of a fentanyl overdose, that would be believable. Because they could point to all the crazy shit that she's been saying online and go, oh, we did the tox screen, man, and we found Adderall, Xanax, fentanyl, like she died of a drug overdose because she's in psychosis. And no one would question it. There wouldn't even be this, and even if there was this, it certainly wouldn't draw the same type of conspiratorial attention it does when you use a sniper rifle. This is crazy. Why did Capturado Robinson jump off the roof, Candace? For fun. He was base jumping. He wanted to beat D.B. Cooper. That's so dumb. Okay. Guys, the government isn't... This is shit that I thought when I was like 22. I was like, oh, the government. It's a federal conspiracy. Why would there be... What? No, dude. If the feds want to kill Charlie Kirk, they would give him a drug overdose or a heart attack or a fucking stroke. Or, better yet, he would just disappear. And they would be like, we don't know where he went. We can't find him. We don't know. And... There'd be nothing to investigate. You think they want you to uncover their plot? Fuck no. And what about the text messages? Robinson is on texts telling people that he killed this guy. Oh, whoops, we forgot the defense is going to serve a subpoena to the fucking... That's dumb. Can defense attorneys serve subpoenas? I'm not sure. Can a defense attorney serve a subpoena? Or can a defense attorney... issue a subpoena is, I guess, a better way. Subpoena a witness. Can a defense attorney subpoena a witness? Let's find out. Yes, a defense attorney can subpoena a witness to compel their testimony or the production of documents in a civil or criminal case. So look, guys, what's going to happen, and I'm sure that they're going to do this regardless of whether or not this is a conspiracy, the defense is going to subpoena Captain Otto Robinson's phone company. They almost certainly are going to, because they want to know if those text messages happened. The only way that they're not going to do that is if Captain Otto Robinson himself admits to them in attorney-client confidence that he did send those texts, and they're just not going to bother because they know what they're going to find when they subpoena, and they might even do it anyway. Then what? What's going to happen when the defense, puts a witness from, say he's got, T-Mobile or whatever. They put T-Mobile on the stand and they say, here are the texts that he really sent or whatever. Under oath, they're going to ask, did the defendant text these things on his phone? And if those text messages are manufactured by the FBI, who's too dumb to do anything but tweet, it seems, with Cash Paddle, right? You guys know how I've unloaded on Cash Paddle verbally before. What's going to happen if they subpoena the phone company and they don't find those text logs? There goes the conspiracy, it all unraveled, whoopsie daisy. It's crazy, man. This is it's such a joke. So what's their story? Well, it really wasn't him sending those text messages. Your phone camera's facing you when you type on your phone? Did you know that? You ever looked at your phone? You notice how there's a camera right there in front of the keyboard? Well, guess what? They can see you sending the texts. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. It's insane, man. These people are crazy. But I don't think she believes this stuff. I think she's trying to generate click revenue, which is really evil. That's evil, guys. Candace Owens, if that's what you're doing, you're fucking evil. Because that was your friend, you claim. And you're trying to make money. You're trying to get attention in the news so that you can get paid to lie about how your friend died. You. If that's what's going on. Or she's in a meth psychosis and it's not her fault. And it really wouldn't be your fault. She would just be insane. In which case, then we need to wonder, how do we treat somebody like that? How do we help someone like that? Because obviously, they're not doing well. These people are fucking crazy, man. It doesn't work like that because it's too easy to expose conspiracies. Look what happened on 9/11. We know what happened. We have a pretty fucking good idea what happened on 9/11, guys. The evidence is there. You just have to dig. We know who profited. We understand what happened there. Generally speaking. We don't know exactly who planted bombs and thermitic demolition devices inside that building. However, we do know who was head of security for the World Trade Center complex. And guess who? Marvin Bush, Securicom. We do know that Larry Silverstein filed 2 simultaneous insurance policies on those buildings and profited twice from the collapse of the World Trade Center. We do know that the buildings were packed full of asbestos, and they were needed to be demolished anyway. And yet, guys, look, the demolition project to bring down the World Trade Center to deal with its ridiculous asbestos problem was going to be so expensive that it would have bankrupted Larry Silverstein and the Port Authorities and all these guys. But what happened instead? Well, a terrorist attack happened, and Larry Silverstein made a bunch of money. I think it's the largest single insurance claim ever filed, actually. 9/11. So we're able to follow the money, we're able to follow the data, we're able to follow the information. We know what happened. It doesn't really matter what Wikipedia says because we can see the evidence. We understand that there were put options put on United Airlines, American Airlines, Marsh & McLennan, Cantor Fitzgerald, all these companies, these huge companies, that stock trades were going on. We know that Silverstream, the project, existed. We know that that L. Paul Bremer sat on the board of directors for Komatsu Dresser, which patented a nanothermite demolition device, and was also, coincidentally, the first guy to appear on television and tell us that Osama bin Laden brought towers down. So we know what happened on 9/11. The truth will come to light, guys. It's biblical. It's written there. It says that the truth will come to light. Because you can't prove something that didn't happen. And you can't prove something that didn't happen. It's that simple. The proof can be manufactured, but then you risk that being found out. So what do we see with the text messages? I just gave them an in. Look, guys, if the defense thinks that those text messages weren't sent by Captain Robinson, here's how you prove it, okay? You subpoena the phone company. And the deep state didn't account for that. They forgot. Whoops. That's crazy, guys. Fucking rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man. Because I don't think that this is what he would have wanted. I don't know for sure, because I don't know him at all. Never really paid any attention to anything he said. But I just have a strong suspicion that this isn't what he would have wanted, man. In fact, the bravest and coolest fucking thing that I've seen anyone do come out of this fucking mess is that his wife took over his company and is like crunching fucking numbers with it. That's inspiring and cool. Good fucking job, Erica Kirk. You know, good fucking job. That's what he would have wanted. I think. I know that if I had a movement like Turning Point USA and I believed in my cause, which clearly he did, he died for it. Though I doubt that was, I'm not sure if he would have kept going if he would have known, But you have to expect that that's a possibility when you're a geopolitical figure like that. I know that I would want my wife to take over my company and be crunching numbers, being a badass. So if that's what she's doing, good job, because you're the only person, Erica Kirk, that came out of this fucking mess and did something good for it. Everything else is a shit show. And I guess and Captain Robinson's dad. Good job, Captain Robinson's dad, for turning in your son. I know that's a fucking crazy hard position to be in. What would you do? I don't know what I would do if I found out my son sniped somebody. I mean, that's rough. But all this other crap, fuck you, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan couldn't even bother to do one Google search before he went online and lied about his death. He couldn't even bother to, fact check anything he said. And that's why for so long I've always thought with Joe Rogan, I love when you talk about martial arts and fighting, because that's your fucking lane, Joe. Stay there. Every time you start talking about the fucking reptilians and shit, you look like a joke. Because you don't know anything, Joe Rogan. You're a fighter. Shut up about snipers. He's a laughingstock, man. One Google search would have prevented all of that. One Google search, guys. That's it. And he goes in front of his audience of millions of fucking people and just starts spouting off shit. It's evil. That shit's evil, man. It's either basically criminally negligent and insane, and really, it's really stirring division up, this shit, guys. This is not good, what these people are doing, I think, because it's just stirring the pot more. It's just making things worse. The government didn't fucking kill Charlie Kirk. That's retarded. Know how I know? Because the shooter jumped off a second-story roof. Government don't do that, sorry. They just don't. Look at 9/11. Everything was, perfectly executed. Now, of course, we still dug that information up. We still found out what really happened. But they didn't do anything that was just asinine like that. Okay, we sniped him. No, quick, jump off the roof. Break your ankle. Oh, my God. That's not the deep state. Stop stirring that pot. Just accept it. Some 22-year-old kid wanted to be famous. So he did an evil thing to get famous. Ruined his own life. Fucked up his family. Fucked up Kirk's family. Took Kirk's life. What's he going to get? The death penalty? And in a year from now, he'll be out of the news cycle until they stick a lethal injection needle in his arm. What did he achieve? Turning Point USA is bigger today than it was on September 9th. I don't know anything about it. I don't agree with it, align with it, side with anything like that. I don't fucking know. I'm not political like that. Because I just follow the truth where truth is. If there's bullshit happening here, I'm going to call the bullshit out. If there's truth happening here, then I'm going to commend the truth. But Charlie Kirk is like a huge martyr. He's like a symbol now for these people. And I don't align with their movement. I don't care about their fucking movement because it's retarded. The real solution is to build your own house, grow your own food, have a family, and be badass. That's what's cool. You know, not arguing with Trump. That's not cool. He's a joke. Oh no, what's the solution? Okay, grow your own food, filter your own water, build your own house, run your own solar. These are easy things, guys. Les Stroud showed you how to do it, in fact. I believe it's called Off the Grid with Les Stroud. Like living off the grid or something. But the government doesn't do that. Or if they did, it's counterintuitive to their purpose. What was their motivation? Oh, they're trying to silence him. Well, they didn't. And they know that that doesn't silence him. That never silences people, guys. Sniping them, all it does is make their cause bigger than before. It's not the way. What is the way? Well, if you think he's wrong, then state your case. Grow your food. Go build your house. You know, be fruitful and multiply. And then you can trash on him all you want. And I don't care. It's freedom of speech, dude. But this stirring the pot shit, this lying about your dead friends is really, really evil, guys. It's fucking evil. And I think that she knows better. My guess, if I had to make if I had to place a life, well, I don't know. I don't even have an input at that point. But if I had to put a bet on it or something, I would say that. Anyway, forgot what I was saying here. It doesn't work. And the deep state knows that. You don't think that they've done enough revolutions in foreign countries to figure that shit out? The only time the deep state ever kills like a foreign leader, and it's insanely rare, guys, is why is Netanyahu alive then? Because you know that there's factions of the deep state that don't agree with each other. Okay, so Netanyahu's alive. They know that when you look at Iraq, dude, look at Iraq. Look at the shit show that turned into when they ousted Saddam Hussein. And they knew what they were doing when they did that because they knew that that was going to enrage and invigorize the Iraqi populace so that they could destabilize the region, move in, steal the oil, steal the resources, steal the instability, exist closer to Russia. That was all part of the plan. Now, it evolved into chaos that they really couldn't do. You know, they kind of pillaged Iraq until they got everything they wanted out of it and then just left it for the vultures. But generally, the deep state knows that when you look at Martin... Dude, there's a holiday for Martin Luther King, and he's like a national hero. He's a historical hero because he got shot. You think if MLK Jr. hadn't got shot, that we would have the same amount of progress in civil rights? And I'm all for the civil rights progress. I love the concept, like, black people should totally be allowed to go to the same fucking restaurants as white people. Like, duh. You know? But if their goal was to shut him up because they didn't want that, it failed obviously it didn't. It was James Earl Ray with a sniper rifle. But look, guys, crazy white hillbillies who are 22 years old, like Robinson, do this all the time. They do it all the time. It's just what happens, man. And it's really tragic that happened to the Kirk family. They're fucked up now. They must be. Life is never going to be the same for that family. And his cause is bigger today than it was on September 9th. Way bigger. Oh, the deep state forgot. They forgot that. No. They didn't forget that. So they would discredit him. They would, who knows what they would do, slander him, libel him, not cover him in the media, right? It's insane. So Candace, I don't know what's going on with you, but look, Candace Owens, if you need assistance, I'm serious right now. Like, I'm gonna really be honest right now. I'm gonna like reach out to another struggling, apparently alcoholic or addict right now, because I think that's what she is. I think she's a drug addict who's insane. And I get it. I've been there myself. Like, I've been in meth psychosis a trillion times. Whatever. Candace Owens, if you need assistance, like, literally contact me. And I can help you get health insurance and get into a treatment center. I'm not kidding. And if you come here for assistance to nukehoax and you're like, hey, I'm like spun out right now, I'll be like really helpful with you. And you won't get any judgment, because 98% of my friends have been right there. You know. But just stop. Just you're not making things better in this situation. So, okay. That being all said, channel is that's funny. Channel about the Hitler stuff. I love it, dude. I know some smart fucking guys who are really smart, cool guys, man, who are buying this shit hook, line, and sinker. But you know what else? They thought Koberger was innocent, and he was not innocent, guys. You know. Just don't do this. It's just making everything worse, man. It's not helping anybody. It's not, oh, I'm gonna shut down the federal conspiracy. Dude, if you believed what you're saying, Candace Owens, you wouldn't be saying it because you'd be scared they would snipe you. Wouldn't you? If you think that there was a federal conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk, would you really go on Fox News and say that? Because you know the deep state can get you anywhere, anytime. It's the deep state. So I don't think she believes this shit, which really makes it worse. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's say she's in an amphetamine psychosis, and if that's the case, Candace Owens, please fucking email me. My email address is nukehoaxbanevasion@gmail.com, and I will help you get health insurance and get you in a place where you can get the poison out of your system and get a clue. Genuinely. I would love to do that. Anytime I see a situation where someone spun the fuck out on Fox News, and I would love to help them come back to reality, because it's really nice in reality, guys. It's really cool here. So, anyway, the deep state is not sniping you. And that being said, this has been live